Hello again, watch friends. Welcome back. My YouTube channel is called Watches and More. This is one of those more videos. Over the last several years, I've replaced just about every incandescent light bulb in my house with LED bulbs. The spots in the kitchen hi-hats were the first to be replaced. Then the porch and deck outside lights. Then the living room lamps. I even replaced the candelabra bulbs with LEDs. As you probably know, the LED bulbs last longer, draw less current, and come in a variety of shades. More on that in a minute. The one thing I didn't do until very recently was replace the fluorescent lights in my basement and garage with LEDs. You know, those 48-inch twin-tube fixtures that are so ubiquitous. Why? It just all seemed very confusing. Too many options, not sure what I had to do. Then there were those many websites and YouTube videos trying to show you how to do it, but they left me even more confused. So I'd like to share what I learned, and maybe it will save you some time and headache. Fluorescent lighting has been around for many decades, but has always had some drawbacks. The tubes need frequent replacing. The ballast in the fixtures, think of it as a transformer, could go bad after a few years and need replacing. These tubes are energy hogs, and perhaps the biggest drawback, the tubes are made of glass, and if you've ever dropped one, a real PETA to clean up. On the other hand, LED fluorescent replacements have several benefits. Safety. The tubes are made of plastic, shatterproof plastic. Reliability, longevity. These LED tubes will last decades. Cost effective. They draw less electricity and therefore are cheaper to operate. And brighter. They're often brighter than their fluorescent tube counterparts. There are essentially two ways to go to swap out your old fluorescent bulbs with LEDs. Plug and play or retrofit. These work with existing ballasts. Just remove the old tube and insert the new. No rewiring needed. Just remember, the ballast is bad, the LED tubes won't work. Temperature. Choose whatever suits the space, from warm to daylight. You can choose the temperature that you want. Temperature is measured in Kelvin, and 2,000 to 3,000 degrees is considered warm, similar to yellowish incandescent lighting, while 4,000 to 6,500 degrees is described as cool, with kind of a bluish cast, similar to outdoors. Hint: LED tubes are categorized as Type A, Type B, and Type AB. Type A are the ballast-compatible tubes. Type B are the direct wire LED tubes and require ballast removal. These two types are not interchangeable. And Type AB is a hybrid and can generally work in either scenario. The other method, besides plug and play, is retrofit. Here you remove the ballast from the fixture. You may need to install new lamp holders. These little things are called tombstones, apparently, and wire one end of the fixture directly to the incoming AC power. Ballast removal. It can be physically, in other words, take it out of the fixture, remove it from the fixture, or just out of the circuit. Out of the circuit is mandatory, but you could leave it there after you cut the wires. And you need to understand shunted versus non-shunted lamp holders. In most fluorescent fixtures, the tombstones are shunted, meaning there's an internal connection inside the holder from one side to the other. Direct LED tubes require that these holders be non-shunted. In other words, no internal connection. There are quite a few brands of plug-and-play LED bulbs: GE, Philips, Feet, etc. I don't know which is best, if any, but there is a brand of LED tubes called Toggled, which makes the retrofitting process extremely easy. They also have the clearest video of the process on their website. I'll put a link to it in the description. Another good web resource is 1000bulbs.com. I'll include a link in the description to their site as well. Full disclosure, I was not paid any money to mention Toggled, nor was I given any free merchandise. I just thought they were the best option for my needs and wanted to share the info. The Fixture Approach is yet a third option and worth noting. I wanted to install a couple more LED lights in the basement. I could have bought an integrated LED fixture, which includes the LED tubes and the fixture together, but the LED tubes were non-removable in these things. For slightly less money, I bought standard fluorescent fixtures and the toggled retrofit kits and retrofitted the brand new fixtures into LED fixtures. Plus, I could always change the LED tubes if I wanted a different light temperature output. A couple of final words. Always, did I say always? Shut off the power to an existing light fixture you plan to retrofit. No need to do this if you're simply swapping bulbs, but if you go the retrofit route, it's imperative. Additionally, I would suggest you use either an inexpensive voltage tester. This thing's got 2 leads and tells you if there's current present or not, or use a multimeter to ensure you're not working with live wires. The last thing you want is a shock, especially if you're on a stool or a ladder. The other thing to keep in mind that to get the most cost savings, you should remove the ballast from the circuit when you retrofit. If you just do the plug-and-play dance, the ballast will still be drawing current and you won't save as much electricity. Remember, you don't have to physically remove the ballast from the old fixture. Just remove it electrically. That is, cut the wires to and from it. If you do take out the ballast, be sure to dispose of it in an environmentally safe way. Interestingly, a pair of plug-and-play LED tubes cost about the same as a pair of direct wire LED tubes, give or take a couple dollars. And if you go with the brand I use for the retrofits, Toggled, the LED tubes come with a kit of parts you need for the retrofit. Just remember the 2 types of LED tubes, plug-and-play and direct wire LED, are not interchangeable. If you go the plug-and-play route, but notice that the LED tubes shut off after a while, chances are that either the ballast is bad or it's not compatible. I had this happen to me on one fixture, and rather than try to determine ballast compatibility or attempt to get a replacement ballast, I just went with a simpler and cheaper retrofit approach. One last thing I also learned. Fluorescent tubes are classified as T5, T8, T12. The T stands for, cleverly, tube, and the number represents the diameter in eighths of an inch. So, for example, a T8 is a 1-inch diameter tube. T8 and T12 tubes are interchangeable in fixtures, whereas T5 are not electrical pin sizes. Maybe you already know about LED replacements for fluorescent lights. If so, fine. I didn't, and had to do a good amount of research to understand them and to decide what my options were. I hope my experience is helpful if you decide to make the switch. Good luck.